Assalamu alaikum, this is Atif Nawaz and you're listening to an Inspire FM podcast.
Catch a creative vibe on the Urban Kube with sister Shemiza.
Good morning, and assalamu alaikum. It is 10 o'clock, Monday, 21st of January, and you're joined with me, Shemiza, taking you all the way up to 12 o'clock on Where Else Is the Urban Kube show, going loud and bright across Luton surrounding areas, Peterborough, Sheffield, and Nottingham this morning. Now, the conversations are going to be all about faith, inspired creativity, and positive action on the show today, and I'm joined by awesome guests in the studio that you can actually check on our Facebook, because Facebook Live is on right now. So it's not just audio, it's also Facebook Live, people. So do get onto the Inspire FM Facebook page to see who's in the studio. They're waving to the camera. Hey! Yay! We have two exceptionally remarkable women in the studio this morning, and I'm going to be speaking just shortly, very, very shortly, about who they are. And I'm also going to be joined by some great guests over the phone as well. Now, I hope you had an absolutely awesome weekend and a fantastic start to the week, and I'm absolutely delighted to be in your company this morning. It's a glorious day. The sun is shining and it's really, really quite warm and radiant in the studio. And why is that? Because I'm absolutely delighted to introduce two very, very awesome guests, and you're going to be finding out a lot more about them, not just in the show, but I'm going to be continuing this conversation about the work that they're doing, because it's celebrating art in Luton. We're celebrating art in Luton with a fantastic exhibition, which is going to be exploring portraits of contemporary women across Britain, which is showcasing at the Storefront Gallery in Luton. And the launch was this week. And this exhibition has been created by no other than the very awesome German artist, photographer, Catrine Val. Hello and assalamu alaikum. Hello, my dear.
Yes, hello. Oh, I bow low, even if you don't say it, but I'm so impressed about your morning inspiration, and your voice is full of energy. So please lend me something. Yeah, I'm a little bit shy in front of the microphone. Yeah.
Oh, bless you. But it's an absolute pleasure to have you join us today. And
Thank you.
This is a project that's been created by Luton Culture in celebration of the remarkable women in Luton. And Khadija is one of those awesome women that's part of this exhibition, which is showcasing at the Storefront Gallery. Assalamu alaikum, Khadija.
Alaikum salam.
Yeah. Now, you know why I'm really, really excited? Because you're Moroccan.
Yeah.
And Catrine, you're German.
A little bit.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'm just loving the cosmopolitan vibe of the show today. So I'm going to be learning a bit about your culture as well as your love for Luton with this exhibition. Now, tell us a little bit more about yourself, Khadija. Now, I understand you're an artist.
Yeah. So my name is Khadija. I'm 18 years old. I am an art and design student at Barnfield College. I've been living in Luton since 1 year and 5 months. So, yeah.
Wonderful. And now you're exhibited in an exhibition. I mean, how did that come about?
So I had my work experience, the carnival arts. So I had my work experience really normally. And Catrine just came and she asked me, can I take a picture of you? I was like, yeah, of course, if you wanna. And I didn't think that it's gonna be something really big, called for interviews and exhibition and stuff like that. So yeah.
Wow. And I've seen some of those pictures and I'm like, oh, goodness me, this is not what I was expecting. And what's really quite exciting, because it looks at fashion, but it also looks at dual cultural heritage.
Yes.
I mean, Catrina, how do I pronounce your name correctly? Let's get
Catrina.
Catrina? Okay.
It's perfect.
Oh, thank you. She's so good. Tell us about how you came about this exhibition and what it means to you.
Yes. So first of all, it's for me it's a heart-beating project, and it means the whole kingdom. It's all inclusive in this oasis, and everything starts with that I met this wonderful, in your words, yes, he's the most adorable and also inspiring curator. His name is Matthew Sean, and I know him quite a long time. And I'm really working internationally. And I mean, we have all these. Yes, we go from one flower to the next country. So this is the way I am, and I think we are more like a global nomad. And he said, Catrine, I have it's a little space called Departure Lounge, and there you find already the name inside, Lounge and Departure. So we always we are ready to start. And then, he said, so why don't you have a look on these kind of diversity cultures inside Luton? And of course, we know a little bit the reputation about Luton. It's sometimes it has these grey shadows, and we want to have some light. And immediately when I came here, I was touched and moved by the attention what I get from all the women. You just walk with the gracefulness, and then if you smile, you get the smile back. So this was one of my starting point, and I said, my God, to find something like vibrant like this, full of dignity, full of pride, and the culture diversity, and they all, these are like surfers. They are surfing inside the city and the streets, and then yes, you can catch them, and this is what I wanted to show. And then you come the invisibility and the beauty of each of us. And if you're talking about women, we're talking. Yes, I want to include the men as well. Yeah.
Wow, you've actually said some really beautiful things about the fact that the women, the smiles that you see, and the women smiling back, the people of Luton smiling back at you, and then you're kind of encapsulating this in this exhibition.
It's so
and
true.
It's a new installation, it's a new exhibition. It's real. It's actually looking at a different side and different perspective of all these women, and they're not just women across Luton that are specifically from one group. It's very culturally diverse.
Yes.
You don't just have women from one culture, you have them from all cultures, and also including Muslim women in this as well. Folks, if you've just tuned into the show, you're listening to me, Shemiza, taking all the way up to 12 o'clock on the Urban Kube, and I have a wonderful lineup of guests this morning, kind of inspiring you, motivating you with creative conversations and happy thoughts. We're going to be talking to them very, very shortly in depth about some of the awesome projects that are happening in Luton. We are celebrating Luton today, not just with Khadija, but also another very dynamic young man by the name of Bilal Hussein, who is a local businessman, entrepreneur, and he's going to be talking to us about everything Luton. I'm also joined by another very remarkable young lady over the phone, all the way from London, inshallah, by the name of Saara Aniqah Malik. She is the director and writer of a new play called SALAAM, and this play tackles Islamophobia, and she'll be talking to us shortly about her journey as a writer and a student of politics as well, and how she's using her platform to kind of engage, inspire her voice through theatre. So this is all happening on this morning's show. Now, if you'd like to get engaged with any of the conversations, then you know what to do. You need to contact us on 07779 481822. Topic of today's show, in connection with the theme of Inspire FM this week, we are actually talking about manners. We're talking about manners, and we're talking about respecting our elders. Have we lost the art of manners in 2019? Can you think of any things where you feel that, you know what, that's not good etiquette? Does having a mobile phone sometimes make you lose a bit of etiquette, especially, for example, if you're going out and having a meal? And then, do you think phones should be banned off the table?
Yes.
Katrina, what do you think?
Yes. Yes. I think, if you're sitting on the table, it's a place of communication. And there is, now I see in your beautiful eyes, they are sparkling. And it's so important to have this kind of conversation and to feel and to touch, these synergies. And if you have a phone, yes, it distracts you. And it gives you also the respect of that we are together and so close. If I see her and this is I think it's a celebration, and each conversation should start like this, and we have to be aware, where's our second nature? Where is it?
Yeah, and that's a very interesting point about nature, coming back to nature. Do you think we need to be out more with nature and like maybe leave the phones?
We're not seeing our humanity, we're not reacting to each other, we're just on our phone, social media, so we forgot everything about us, around us, about other people. We're just thinking about ourselves when we are on our phone, like searching, or even just using social media. We're not having real conversation. It's just like virtual, and we need to maybe talk with each other more, trying to do more activities with each other, and
and what's called, I think you make a wonderful point, because it's what is authentic, and is this kind of diverse diverse. Yes, if this is really what we are searching for, and I think we have to trust our feeling, and the omnipresent of this mobile phone and also the selfies. I really find there must be another outcome for this. Come on, I don't want to get the times back because a mobile phone helps us along. You know, I find my way and the train station, I was in time or not. But anyway, but I think to raise an awareness and to more celebrate the moment where we are in, I think this helps.
And you're celebrating a moment, aren't you, Katrina, with your exhibition
yes.
at the storefront. And this is a really, really intriguing exhibition because it's really celebrating the contemporary women across Britain, starting from Luton. Yay!
Yes.
And it's a celebration of how many women have you encapsulated in this exhibition?
To be very honest, I don't know the numbers because I'm a little bit handicapped with numbers. They are a lot, and they're always like a wave. It's going beyond, and it's not about. But each one of them, I get something what's called uniqueness and the power of their own one, and this is so much more important than the numbers. So they are and it's not only an exhibition, but the exhibition is too limited, the word. So it means in an exhibition you go in, and maybe it's a white cube or not, this time it's pink. It's very important that it's pink. So you have this color, and I hope you feel invited to come. And then the performance starts because it's an interaction. So yes, please give me the chance that you come, and then if I will be there, I'm most of the time I'm there. So and I with my camera, and then we play around. So, I turn you into it's not. Sometimes we want to be, we want to have this beauty, and this selfies with all the filters. I try to make something different, but it's good that you see how far I can go to reach this kind of, because the stereotypes, and then you find yourself. This is very important for me.
Interesting. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about this experience because it's a very interactive experience where you're actually invited.
It's like a boutique.
A boutique.
It looks like a boutique, a high fashion boutique. Everybody, they come in, and it's not only open for women. It's also there are a lot of these beautiful boys coming in and said, this looks fancy. So what is it? And then it's about you.
Okay.
So to change the room, yes. So
Wow, I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I've just seen some information here, and it talks about it's about highlighting dual identity that many women lead through their wardrobe, and you've invited women to kind of pose for 2 formal portraits, each duo portrait, and wearing their professional day-to-day clothing, and then wearing their clothes that define their cultural and national identity.
Yes, and this is for me so important to have the cultural identity. And because most of the time I think we are like in the uniform. It's a uniform of H&M or Zara or so, and then we start to be looking the same, But here in Luton, this was particular. What I saw, there are a lot of proudness, and you see women work from. I work with one wonderful from Ghana, Patty, and she has, even if it's cold, but if you wear your cultural heritage and you wear it, I think, you shine. And you give us so much more strength.
And I love the fact that you've just mentioned, even if it's cold, she'll still wear her beautiful dress from Ghana, representing her cultural identity. It doesn't matter what weather it is, she will still shine and still look beautiful. And it's that strength and confidence that you're trying to encapsulate of the cultural connections in this project. Now, coming to you, Khadija, mashallah, I mean, I've seen your image. Goodness me. Beautiful hijab in a lovely, elegant dress, and you're holding a sledgehammer. Now, Katrina just talked about breaking stereotypes. That's beyond stereotypes. What's going on there, girl?
So we know that society tried to create multiples. The society want everybody look same. And especially the woman, we have a beauty standard. We need to look like this. We need to be fit. We need to be like really elegant, fragile. We need to be protected by men and stuff like that. So this picture tried to broke literally the stereotypes and the fact that men think that women are really fragile. They need to be protected. And this picture, I just tried to make them just like recognize that we are not fragile, you know? We are women, we have our strength, we can do a
both.
lot of things, you know?
Yes.
And we are smart, we
Wonderful.
are powerful, we can do a lot of things. And you can see it through the picture that I try to express what I feel, you know?
And was that your idea or was that Catrine's
Her
idea?
idea.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Where did you get
in
the
the same
hammer
time.
from?
It's really, like I just bring the dress, and like a man was like using a hammer, and she asked him, "Can I use your hammer?" And it just came. You know, we didn't plan for it. We didn't.
Yes. So, and it's really strong to hold it up.
Oh gosh, it is. It looks very heavy.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is heavy.
Really.
But for me, it was the interpretation of the Jeanne d'Arc,
Okay.
a modern. Yeah, I'm searching for something what's diverse, and she has all this in your beautiful face, and we can be fragile. I love to be fragile. Of
course.
I love to have emotions, but sometimes when it's time, yes, don't put us in one box. And this is the whole project, and this is one of the main issue or visions where I try to fly in. Don't show Luton the way it represents all the time.
Okay.
Show it like a cosmopolitan place. We all one on this, fragile world. This is such a complex. And yes, and I think in each image what I show, you will never get this is Luton. So be proud of your there are so much more, hidden places, and put it into the invisibility. Put it into light and into flashlights. Sometimes we can be louder. So it's all there.
And it clearly is. I mean, just talking about it has made me quite intrigued to come and see this exhibition. Now, it is being held at the storefront. This is based at the Departure Lounge. It's in collaboration with the Departure Lounge, as well as Luton Culture, who have supported this.
Can I? Because for me this is very important, because I have such a wonderful team of women who are working with me and who makes it happen. There's a lot of research going before, so. If it's, to keep the respect of these women of color and all the devils, if they accept it, if they're interested in this, because it's not about me. I really love to be beyond. But with their power, I think, we can create something called womanhood of modernity.
Womanhood of Modernity, which is a real celebration of contemporary women in Britain, and it's definitely contemporary women in Luton in all their facets, from their working look to their cultural heritage. It's a real celebration of both that dual heritage coming together, exhibited at the Storefront Gallery, which is created by Matthew Shaw, that you've just mentioned now, who's the director of the Departure Lounge. But it's also part of another project called is it called As You Change?
Yes.
So it's part of this project, there's a lot of exhibitions under this banner, which seems to be growing in popularity, and we're hearing more and more about it. And this is quite exciting for somebody for me in Luton, because I want to see more of this. So what else can we expect as part of this exhibition? Because it's a long-term project.
Yes.
So tell us how this works.
Sorry, I'm just here. This is a part of. I'm just one chapter, and hopefully, I will transform it into something huge or powerful. So there are a lot of other projects coming up, and Matthew has make a range of other artists internationally. But it's not the question about where do you come from. Is where do you want to see yourself, and as you can change. So immediately if you come to Luton, and there you see, you can dream. What's the big billboard there? So this is part of it. So everybody knows it, and this was the first communication I have had with Luton. So to see this billboard, and I think it works so well. And just beyond. There, next to the Head Factory, there's a Departure Lounge, if you don't know where it is. So,
Yes,
This-
and that's a really exciting space
Yes.
that we, as artists, as creatives, as people who appreciate creativity, are looking forward to seeing grow, because I don't think there is enough spaces to
Yes.
celebrate good art or art that's inclusive. Now, coming to you, Khadija, mashallah, I mean, through this project, I get to find out about you. I would not have known who you are, but I'm so enamoured by your strength and your courage. You're a student who has actually come from, is it France?
I'm half French. Actually, it's difficult for me to explain it. Every time when people ask me where are you from, am I Moroccan? Am I French? So actually, I'm French originally from Morocco. So my mom, she was born in France, but her parent was Moroccan, and my dad is Moroccan.
Okay, mashallah.
So yeah. What's the question?
And so you've come from France to study
Yeah.
in the UK,
Yeah.
and that's quite brave to do so. And you're studying art and design. How's your experience been so far?
Actually, when I came here with my 5 brothers and my mom, it was quite difficult, you living alone with your mom. And we are like 6 girls and 1 boy. And I don't know how to explain. When I came here in the UK, I felt, I want to live here forever, the diversity, I can wear my hijab freely, I can practice my religion. And in France, it's not the same.
Of course.
And in Morocco, it's quite, it's a Muslim country, but it's not the same feeling, I just had enough of Morocco, okay, it's a Muslim country, but we don't have the same chances, to progress and do a lot of things. And then when I came to UK, I was like, wow. It's totally different from France and Morocco. You can practice your religion. You have the same chance. If you are Christian, Jewish, or Buddhist, or even Muslim, you have the same chances. I can go to university with my hijab. I can work.
So
with
as a
my
Muslim
hijab.
woman,
Yeah.
you feel a lot more confident in
as
the
a girl
UK
as well.
Wow.
We don't have like the sexuality problem. Women cannot have the same work as men. We
So it's
have
more
all
equal,
the same chance. Yeah,
equal opportunity for you. Which,
if your gender, your identity.
so what has that done for you then, as a Muslim hijab-wearing woman from France living in the UK?
When I came here, I was a little bit scared that they're going to ask me to take off my scarf.
Oh,
In
wow.
France, we cannot study with
gosh.
our scarf, headscarf. So I just, I was a little bit stressed. And I just went to my school and they was, I don't know, they was so, they understand me, They was, oh, you wear a scarf, you're Muslim, you can study with your scarf here. I was like, okay. We're a European country, France is a European country, but it's not the same. It's a huge difference between France and UK. I'm not a liar, I promise you.
Okay,
if you
you're
go to
obviously
France,
somebody who has that
yes.
experience. You're
And
speaking with experience.
Yeah, and they give you a lot of chances. In France, if you fail, you fail.
Right.
But in UK, you have a second chance every
Okay.
time.
Okay.
If you don't go to university, you have like apprenticeship. You can have a job. You can, in France, you need to go to university, have a master, not a bachelor degree. You need a master if you want to get a good job. If you wear a scarf, you cannot get a job. You need to take off your scarf. It's really, really difficult to live as a Muslim in France. And actually now it's more difficult. The racism and stuff like that just grow up. It's just.
And
Yeah.
it's quite saddening to hear that
Yeah.
from somebody who's experienced
Yeah.
this. But it's really wonderful to hear that
Yeah.
you're here in the UK, in Luton. You're having a wonderful time as an academic. You're able to nurture and grow as a Muslim woman with nothing stopping you from wearing your headscarf, wearing your hijab, and studying and living as comfortably as you deserve to be living.
Yeah.
So alhamdulillah, that's a beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful thing. And
alhamdulillah, yeah.
now you're in this exhibition. Goodness me. So folks, if you've just tuned in, you are listening to the Urban Kube with me, Shemiza. The time is 10:23 and I'm not alone in the studio. I am absolutely delighted to introduce 2 really remarkable women in the studio today who are part of a very exciting exhibition that is being showcased in Luton, in the heart of Luton, and the exhibition aims to explore the importance clothing plays in personal and cultural identity, and how working environments can limit women's everyday fashion choices and the ability to express their personality, cultural heritage, or religious beliefs. This is an exhibition which looks at portraits of contemporary women across Britain, and it's been created by the artist Catrine Val, who's in the studio. She's a very well-known German artist, mashallah, so it's an absolute pleasure to have her join us today on Inspire FM. Also, one of the participants in the exhibition is Khadija. Now, Khadija is a student of art and design, and she has been featured in this exhibition, one of her portraits, which is really breaking down stereotypes. An absolutely beautiful image of you look like a princess in it. A princess in a beautiful hijab, a beautiful, modest, elegant dress, and then she's holding a sledgehammer. I mean, what a contrast. Guys, we're going to be catching up with Catrine and the wonderful Khadija on just straight after the break. We are heading over to the break at the moment. Now, today's conversation or today's topic is all about manners. And the reason why we're talking about manners is because we are running Inspire FM's Good Character Week. And today we're looking at manners. So we've been talking to Catrine and the wonderful Khadija about phone etiquette. Does that make one look a little bit ill-mannered if they're actually using their phone in a restaurant whilst eating? I want to find out what makes you annoyed. What sort of things annoy you? And do you think that we need to be a little bit more, we need to embrace manners a little bit more? And who should be educating or re-engaging us with these manners? Again, do you know what? I'm getting a little bit exhausted. I'm just going on and on. I need a break. So I'm going to head off to a break and inshallah see you straight after this. Assalamu alaikum.
A brand new show has just landed at Inspire FM, Mother's Planet. Join us on air or via Facebook for a good old chinwag about motherhood. Share your experience or expertise with others, whether it's what's the best shampoo to use or what to cook for dinner. The floor of discussion is yours. Join me, Neelam, Fridays at 10 a.m. only on Inspire FM.
Catch a creative vibe on the Urban Kube with Sister Shemiza.
Good morning and assalamu alaikum. It's 10:30, Monday, 21st of January, and you're listening to the Urban Kube with me, Shemiza, taking you all the way up to 12 o'clock this morning. I hope you've had a fantastic weekend and an absolutely wonderful start to the week. It's Monday, people, so hopefully you'll get a little bit of Monday motivation on the show this morning, and we're having creative conversations with another absolutely awesome panel of guests, and we're throwing over the Love Luton vibe because we are talking all things Luton on the show this morning with a fantastic exhibition which is being launched and created at the very awesome Storefront Gallery in Luton, which is just you come out of the train station and it's just opposite the Hat Factory. Now, I'm joined by the remarkable young lady behind this exhibition, which is a real celebration, and it aims to explore the importance of how clothing plays in personal and cultural identity, and how working environments can limit women's everyday fashion choices and the ability to express their personality, cultural heritage, or religious beliefs. Now, I love a bit of fashion, I love a little bit of faith, and I love art. So this is a real exhibition that really kind of resonates very well with me. I've had also the opportunity to speak to one of the delightful participants in this exhibition. It's no other than Khadija Iferden, who is one of the participants and the lady behind this this awesome the photographs and the portraits celebrating dual identity as Catrine Val. So, welcome again to the show, ladies. And how are you? Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I mean, the more I'm finding out about this exhibition, I'm getting more and more excited because it's a real celebration of womanhood and contemporary women in Britain, in Luton, but it also is a real exploration, celebration of dual identity. And I want to ask you, Khadija, what does dual identity mean to you if we're re-explaining this to our listeners this morning?
Dual identity is when you kind of how I can explain it with the really good words is when what you're showing is not you, we are you.
Okay.
I mean, for example, if you are a girl, it doesn't mean you're fragile or really, you need protection. dual identity. For example, a woman can do everything, any job. So that's dual identity. For example, Muslim girl, you have some girl wear scarf and some others doesn't wear scarf. It doesn't mean they don't practice the religion in the same way.
Okay.
For example, if you have student who fail his study, it doesn't mean he's not smart. That's for me dual identity mean, you know.
That's really
Wonderful.
interesting.
Yeah.
Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it a statement? We have to inhale this.
Yeah, we need to take a step back, you know, to try to know people. It's not just the first look to tell you everything about the person. For me, is that.
So, Jon, we shouldn't be judging people by the book by its cover. We should kind of get to know them a little bit more, move the layers a little bit back and find out a little bit more. And is this what your exhibition is aiming to do, Catrine?
Yes. It's trying to step out of each cliche. It means step out of each cliche and don't think in boxes, and give everybody, the same respect, and or whomever you meet. And for me, it's very important that I'm not shooting. And here we come on. We are both mothers. Huh? You have a lot of them. I have also a lot of these kind of human beings. They are so beautiful. But I think she's young, she's beautiful, she's all there, ready to start the world. But let's share us. We are women on a different kind of life, a walk of life, but I feel young. I feel young like a teenager. We always say in our teens. So, and therefore, and I'm searching, and as fashion is a huge part of me. I mean, fashion or identity. How do I want to look, or so on. And then it's a limitation. And I want to celebrate age. So, and I want to show that age has a dignity, has a beauty. And each of us is a little Cinderella or princess. So working with her, you look at her, it's easy to shoot. So you have to go beyond to find something different. But having a wonderful woman coming out, and I think beauty has no age. This is also one big part from the show. So please, and I'm not interested in all this kind of, 18, 70, 21, 20. No, please join me, because then the challenge starts for me.
Now, you've just said join me, so I'm assuming you're inviting participants to get involved with this project. So how do they do that? How do they get involved?
Yeah, I have a wonderful, as I told you, it's like a mantra for me. My team, or this team, Hazel and Sammy, and so there are a lot of women who try and to get, the woman through. There was a call in the BBC, in the radio station, so they come, but I walk in the street and then I speak to them. And also, I was waiting for this princess in the morning, and I was waiting because she was already here anyhow. Sometimes we have this misunderstanding. And then I met another woman. I said, you look so beautiful, but, and so she will be in. I think it's a very spontaneous reaction. And if they trust me or not, but most of them, I have the honor that they,
they trust you. Now, this is what I find really quite remarkable and beautiful, because I've seen some of the images, and normally Muslim women, I mean, this is a very cultural, diverse project. It's not specifically for Muslim women. I do need to kind of make a point of that, because sometimes we have these projects which is like targeting Muslim women because they want to show that they're not oppressed. I'm just going to have a deep sigh because we know they're not. But here we go again. And this is very diverse. It's
each of us.
It's about womanhood. It's not about faith. It's about celebration of your personality, and also celebration of who you are. And you explain that very beautifully at the beginning of the interview, which, guys, you can catch on the repeat at 8 p.m. this evening. So I'll this makes me really, really quite excited when, the way you spoke of the fact that it's just celebrating who you are, the fact that you're a proud Muslim woman, but you're also quite confident and articulate, and you want to make a way in the world as an artist.
And she will do this.
Inshallah, she will. She will. So this is open call to women from all backgrounds, all ages, all cultural identities. It's a celebration of your heritage, it's a celebration of who you are and where you're at now in your life. And it's about Luton. It's a celebration of Luton. And as you said so beautifully and so eloquently earlier on, Catrine, you talked about how the fact is, when you smile at people here, they smile back.
Yeah.
I totally believe that. I've said that to so many people and nobody seems to believe me. They do. People in Luton smile back.
Yes. But for being a photographer means that my own incapacity, how I look, is so fragile. So if I can illuminate myself, and I work a lot with me, in all different, you will never think, oh, this is one person. So how many identities lie in each of us?
Right.
So if you open the wardrobe in the morning and say, oh my God, it's a dark Monday. It's not so shiny, by the way. How you I
bring sparkle into the studio.
No, the sun. Yes, but the sunset has. Yeah. Okay. Let's make it. We open this wardrobe, and it's different. If you want to put on dark, black, or if you put lipstick on, a little bit of mascara, and then here we go. And so we have this chance, and this is one main goal for me, is to embrace and to feel inspired. And this woman, because I'm coming from a very, can I say this, very boring, pale country. It's very yes, we have this one tone, if the sound is always like a
Monotone,
yes, so it depends on you. And here you have this whirlpool. If you put it into colors, they have all different sounds. So it's an orchestra, and who's the conductor? And the conductor can be you. So in the way you see it, this is I think, and I mean it like this.
It sounds so colourful, just in the way you're expressing your thoughts around it, and it definitely is, because the launch happened on Friday, or was it Thursday?
Thursday.
Thursday.
Doesn't matter.
It was Thursday, and there was images already up in the storefront. And so how many have been already exhibited, and how many more are required?
Oh, can I tell something? So it was the biggest compliment for me was most of the women, they were there. They were really coming. So it has a strange connection, because you see them in their proudness, or the way I captured them.
Yeah.
And they looked so strong, and then they were, there, and it was chatting, and everybody was, oh, this is you, oh my God, you look so different, you look so beautiful, and the invisibility, because normally these women, they will pass each other.
Okay.
They don't have any communication, but in this, what do you think? Was it like this? Because in this communication, in this exhibition space, there was a real connection, building up something what's called womanhood. They were so different, and there were also quite a few men involved. So it was an open. I think it was an open.
It was a real celebration of people coming together and sharing a common goal, a common ground, and that was.
And then I stopped talking. What I love is that it's a process. It's an interaction. So this gallery, I would think, it's more like a boutique. So please enter, and then in the final. It's not a final destination. I never like to read really, but it will be on the Women's Day, celebrating this kind. It is important. It will be in March.
So these photographs are produced in the changing room, will be exhibited at the storefront Luton from 18th of January to the 9th of March 2019, with a closing event coinciding with International Women's Day on Friday 8th of March. So this is kind of a long project all the way up into International Women's
It gives
Day.
me a little bit more time to breathe and to feel inspired.
Feel inspired by the absolutely wonderful women across the town. This is an open call as well. So when do you invite people to come? I mean, how do people get involved, and how do they get connected with you? How does it work?
It's very smooth and tender. Because if you want to enter, it's open, but it has a special days. It starts at 1. At 1 till 6.
1 till 6, and is this
Yes,
what days
each
will that
day.
be?
Each day.
Each day?
Not a Sunday.
Okay, so each day, 1 to 6, you can come into the storefront gallery, which is Bute Street. It's near the Hat Factory. This is an art gallery space, which is led by Matthew Shaw, who's the director of this space, and he's also one of the supporters who's created this project with you. It's by Luton Culture. And it's got a lot of people talking about it.
Yes,
it really has.
Yes, it is. I think it's this is the wonderful thing. What I more and more I work in my artistic life is if you collaborate. Then you make things happen. If you're alone, crying there, it doesn't have any effect. But if you collaborate, if you're willing to, to give your heart, and this is why, believe me, since I started this project in the dark days of December, I didn't sleep. I just work. She saw me working. So in the night, I shoot the whole day, and then I find another one. In the night, I go through the images, and it's not only a photography. I'm a filmmaker. Right. Mostly, I'm a filmmaker. So to tell the filmmaker, I mean, each story for me, an image has its own narratives. It has no beginning. It has. Yes, it has. It's not like a snapshot. I hate the word snapshot. It's full of it has a story, and hopefully you will find it.
The story, and the story is something that you're wanting to tell through the image that you were in as well, which is a very powerful image. It was a real oxymoron with you've got fragile and feminine and masculine in this very modest but beautiful and strong image of a Muslim woman holding a sledgehammer, people. She looked dangerous, but she's not. Now, I think that kind of resonates quite interestingly to your actual career aspirations as an art and design student. Why did you want to kind of go in that line, that area of work? What is it about art and design that appeals to you?
I wanted to inspire first young ladies, young Muslim ladies. I want them to feel beautiful, loving themselves, and feeling that even if I'm a Muslim woman, I can be someone who inspire other young women. I can, sometimes I'm just planning to be maybe a famous person to just inspire young Muslim ladies. And today you can see a lot of Instagram girls, YouTubers, they inspire young ladies. And I was like, how can I use what I can do, like art and design, my specialty, to inspire others lady. And I'm an art and design student. Photography is a type of art. So how can I combine myself with what I like to inspire other girls? And when she came and started talking to me, I was like, that's a good opportunity. Just try to do it, and maybe it's going to be something big, But I was not expecting that it's going to be that big,
Wow, so, you weren't expecting it to be this big, which, I feel that it's going to grow bigger. Mashallah, inshallah, the project, because it's bringing so many people together of different cultures and getting to see another side of Luton, which is very bright and vibrant and colourful.
But I think if Luton, if you, it's just like a placeholder for so many more countries, or I think it's performing the borders, or we don't think in borders, so we don't need them, and this is I think the main question is. To feel alive and kicking in this area, and it's not about nationality. Of course. This is what I'm. This is
bringing people together, humankind together,
and we are here. We are here together. So sometimes little gestures can change, has a big impact.
Definitely. And one of the topics on today's show is we're talking about manners and good manners. Have we lost the art of manners? Has social media impacted the way we relate to people in our day-to-day interactions? Is social media or our mobile phones impacting our communication standards? Have we lowered the standard or so forth? Would love to find out what your thoughts are. I mean, are you a parent that does not allow mobile phones in certain zones of your house? And if you are, I'd love to find out how you actually managed to do that. Now, in order to get in contact with us, you know what to do. It's WhatsApp us on 07779 481822. Now, if you'd like to find out a little bit more about this project, which is happening at the Storefront Gallery, it's an open call from 1 to 6 each day, inviting people to come forward and to be photographed in this wonderful space, to create these wonderful portraits by no other than the very awesome Catrine Val, who is in the studio right now with me. The Departure Lounge Storefront Gallery has actually been transformed into a fashion photography studio and changing room to enable people to be photographed, which is like loads of fun, right? Everybody loves dressing up and fashion, so it's quite quirky, and it sounds like loads and loads of fun. Today's show, folks, we are are also going to be joined by another Luton, somebody who's passionate about Luton. It's no other than a businessman extraordinaire, Bilal. Bilal, who is going to be joining us very, very shortly to talk to us about his charity work, getting us more charitable, and also talking to us about manners as a parent. Bilal will be joining us very, very shortly. Now, I'm also going to be joined by another very, very talented young lady by the name of Saara Aniqah Malik. Now, Saara Aniqah Malik is going to be presenting her debut play SALAAM, which is premiering at Vault 2019, exploring Islamophobia and the experience of being a Muslim in modern London. Now, she's going to be talking to us after 11:30 about this very exciting play which she has written and she's directed, and it's actually an interesting play between a relationship between a mother and daughter, and she'll be talking to us in a little bit more depth about that very, very shortly. Now, in the studio with me is Catrine, and it's also Khadija. And coming to Khadija, the play SALAAM that I'm going to be speaking to Saara about talks about the relationship between mother and daughter, and it kind of also explains, it talks about their relationship, but as they face the mounting Islamophobia that's been throwing their lives into turmoil. Now, we've just talked about your experience in France and the impact Islamophobia is having on the way you dress, the way you work. Has it impacted your relationship in the home with your mother, say? Because I'm kind of like bouncing off this play in any way.
Me and my mom, we're really close to each other. We are like a friend. So she trusts me and I trust her. So she's my confidant. She's everything for me. So, for example, when I told her about this project, she was behind me and pushing me.
Oh, wow.
She was, do it. You can do it. You're beautiful. You're smart. You're everything. I'm not saying that because you're my daughter, because I know you're a good person. So she was always pushing me. And when we was living in France, she was I was 12 years old when I wore my hijab, so I was quite young. And when I told her, she was, maybe you're too young, take your time, we're living in France, you need to take off your scarf before going inside your school, take your time, you see, young. And she was always trying to convince me maybe I'm too young because of the society, Right. And after, when I wear my scarf, everything, I'm not gonna lie, I was crying because my friend was telling me like, oh, you're not beautiful with scarf, you had beautiful hair, where you're covering your hair, you're young. They was always judging me, and even outside, like some people were staring at me, because I was Muslim. It's weird, But after my mom, like, she tried to talk to me, she was, it's your religion. You need to believe in, in God, not on people. People are gonna stare at you every time. They just need something to talk about you, to just looking at you, And after that, I was like, you're beautiful, Khadija. You're a Muslim girl. You need to show to everybody that you're proud to be a Muslim, And when I wear my scarf, I was walking proudly and I was really happy. Even like sometime I wanted to be like a normal girl, just take off the scarf and just like hang out with my friend with my long black hair, And after that I was like, no, Khadija, you need to show to people that you're not gonna follow them. You're not gonna follow what society told you, because if you don't know, French people every time says your beauty is 50 your hair, 50 your face, 50-50. So some people, they was like, oh, you divided your beauty, You're just like showing your 50. Why are you not showing your other 50, Your 100% beauty. I was like, because I need to show to people what I want to show, I don't want to show everything. And that's what my mom teach me, She was always, you need to show what you want to show. If you want to keep some stuff private, you keep them private. You don't need to show everything to everybody. So
wow. So
my mom, she's
strengthened your belief and strengthened you even more so to project.
My mom, she's really strong. She's living alone with the 5 children here.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
So she kind of give us the right way to think. She give you some advice. She's never gonna tell you what to do. She's always gonna just give you advice. I'm gonna give you advice. You do whatever you want to do. It's between you, yourself, and God.
Wow, very inspiring. What's your mother's name?
Lamia.
Assalamu alaikum, Sister Lamia. An absolute pleasure hearing about you, but I want to see you. Do you think Lamia needs to be featured in this exhibition, Catrine?
She's already. I have had the chance. When they come to the exhibition, but this is in between us.
Yeah, she doesn't want. My
Okay.
No, she doesn't. Yeah. But I have her.
You're in contact with her. So when you hear somebody like Khadija so confidently talking about her Muslim identity, the woman that she is, and passionate about success and ambition, does it make you think that this, what the media projects of Muslim women as being oppressed, really true?
It is. And so now we're talking, if you come in Germany, it's even more stricter than Paris because we don't have this colonial history. So it's a different kind of access what you have, and living very isolated. And I don't feel myself so German, by the way. So I'm also half French. So I have this kind of roots. Anyhow, what I wanted to say, today it was very interesting because in my train coming from London here, I was reading the Financial Times, and there's a big article about modern Muslim woman fashions, because it's the most growing fashion industry. And before, every fashion designer ignore them. And now it's a time for change, but not also giving in the commercial stuff. But I think this is what you give, the pride. And we need to have these role models. And I want, because this is what we have in Germany, and I'm so honored that, that Khadija, she's one of them, who opens up each cliche. And then she spread out her charm, her intelligence, and she can speak, because most of the time people say, it's divided into these rural areas where the scarf's coming from. It has nothing to do with this kind of, to be modern. But I think here we have the chance, and this is why I get it. And
wonderful.
Khadija, you cannot imagine, you changed my world, and I mean it like this. In a vision. And I think the most inspiring thing is to have a vision. And if it's with a scarf, it's wonderful. If it's without, come on, you with your red hair, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And we have these kind of smiles.
Oh, bless you. No, we're going to carry on with these conversations straight after the break, because I am heading to one now, inshallah. After the break, I'm going to be talking all things Luton again with local entrepreneur Bilal Hussein. Now, Bilal is a board member and founding partner of the official charity Week Islamic Relief, which helped raise over 3.5 million worldwide. We'll be catching up with him and finding out about manners. We're going to be talking everything manners with Bilal, and loving Luton too. So do not go away. Come back if you're going to grab yourself a cuppa, and join me straight after the break when I'm having more creative conversations on the Urban Kube. As-salamu alaikum.
You're listening to an Inspire FM podcast, making available our popular programs from our daily broadcast on Inspire FM.
Catch a creative vibe on the Urban Kube with Sister Shemiza.
Good morning and assalamu alaikum. We are now on to the final hour of the Urban Kube show with me, Shemiza, taking it all the way up to 12 o'clock. It is 11 o'clock exactly, Monday, 21st of January. I'm in great company this morning with wonderful guests in the studio, and yourselves as well. We're beaming out to the lovely folk across Luton surrounding areas, Peterborough, Sheffield and Nottingham this morning. I hope you are well wherever you're listening in from, and please do get in touch. We'd love to find out where you're listening in from today, if it's nationally, locally or internationally. Always love to hear from you. Now, on today's show, we are looking at Inspire FM's campaign, which is Good Character Week, and we're looking at manners. We're looking at social media etiquette. What is the right way or wrong way to communicate with people? And also manners at the table whilst eating food. Are you a parent or somebody that's very strict about using mobile phones whilst eating? Or are you somebody that is not bothered, doesn't care whatsoever? In the studio also, I'm joined by two very, very remarkable women. I've had an absolutely wonderful time listening to their creative journey as a photographer, as a filmmaker, as an artist. Extremely inspiring. And the reason why it's inspiring, there's a wonderful exhibition which is celebrating contemporary women in Britain, and it's starting at Luton at the Storefront Gallery, Bute Street, where the amazing photographer Catrine Val has joined us today to talk about this wonderful exhibition, which there is an open call inviting women to come forward and participate in this exhibition, which is actually celebrating dual identity. In the studio also is Khadija, who is a remarkable young artist, 18 years of age, and she's also participated in this really, really cool exhibition. So once again, thank you for joining me, ladies.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
You know what? We've really warmed up, haven't we? We've just had lots of conversations, and I've been observing you guys.
Oh, sparkles of
I love it.
yes.
But no, thank you so much for bringing this exhibition to Luton, and also Catrine. And it's just been so wonderful to listen to, because it really is. It's moving away from cliches. It's really celebrating Luton for what it is.
And it's created here.
Yeah, it's created
It was not that I brought it in.
Okay.
This is important for me.
Yeah.
It's an interaction about women here, from here.
Wonderful.
All walks of life, please come.
And it is all about all walks of life. All walks of life who've come from far afield as well. And you've come from France, mashallah, Khadija. You're studying in Luton, and you're also part of this exhibition too, which is absolutely beautiful. Now, we're going to be talking to these wonderful ladies a little bit more about this exhibition. And we're also going to be finding out their thoughts about the use of mobile phones and image, because there is a growing concern now that a lot of young people, all generations actually, are impacted by selfie culture, and that has impacted their mental health, and also how filters have actually turned the way people are actually feeling about the way they look. The fact that they're actually having plastic surgery to look like their filter image.
Awful.
Oh, goodness me. Now, I'm going to find out whether my next guest, Bilal Hussein, has any of those problems. Assalamu alaikum, Bilal.
Walaikum salam, how are you?
I'm very, very well. Brother, thank you so very much for joining me this morning.
No problem at all.
You know, it's always a pleasure having you join us on your busy schedule. You are a local social entrepreneur businessman who's just done extraordinarily well in contributing to the charity world, mashallah, with raising over £3.5 million across the 15 years of charitable work that you're doing. But you're somebody that's not just charitable, you're an extraordinary businessman, but you have so much love for Luton.
Of course I do, absolutely. It's my home. Luton's an amazing place. It's got amazing people like you, our guests, our listeners.
Oh, thank you.
Fantastic place.
Wonderful, wonderful. I don't know if you've been listening into the interview or the show this morning. We are actually talking about this wonderful exhibition that's been celebrated at the Storefront Gallery, which is looking at contemporary women in Britain. But it's a real celebration of who these wonderful women are, dual identity, celebration of culture and clothing. I mean, when you hear something like that celebrated in Luton, how does it make you feel, Bilal? Do you think we need more?
That fuzzy feeling. It gives you that fuzzy feeling, doesn't it? It's always good to know that there's always positive work going on. And I remember you had Maria from Islamic Relief a few weeks ago talking about, girl power and women in our community and stuff. So it's always great when we see the ladies doing great work, and it's fantastic. It's great for the town.
Fantastic.
And great for our community, isn't it?
It is, and you're somebody that's really in the heart of community work, mashallah, especially when it comes to charity work. Now, last week and the week before, we were talking about Charity Awareness Week, how we can make more people charitable. And charity is also not just exclusively about money, is it, Bilal? I mean, what other ways can we kind of, use our methods really, or our personalities to kind of engage more people?
So, I mean, the reason why I got involved in the charity sector years ago, and remember I do this as a volunteer, this ain't my job. I run a couple of businesses, so I'm very much absorbed in other things. But it was always trying to give something back, and people, especially these days, we're flooded, inundated with on social media and on the telly about charity, and you get WhatsApp messages all the time. And what happens is you can almost become a bit desensitized because it's always in your face. Raising money for this, raising money for that. And sometimes what we need to do is really take a step back and think about, well, do you know what? If I could give an hour on a Saturday, maybe packing some boxes at a local food bank, for example. So sometimes your time and it's something I learned really early on, is your time can sometimes be more valuable than your donation, because if you just walked past the bucket and dropped, I don't know, £1 in a bucket, you may have done your bit for charity, that's fine, but if you stood there with that bucket for an hour, it's much more valuable. So sometimes I feel that people need to just reconnect at a basic level and just get involved somehow. Like I said, packing stuff at a local food bank, maybe going to your local, just a local, like something like Discover Islam, for example, going there, helping out for half an hour. You get your afternoon teas, your morning coffees, it's bake sales, all great ideas. So really stripping it back and not all about trying to raise tens of thousands of pounds for a particular project.
And just maybe focusing on maybe the smaller projects within our community to kind of engage. And it is about communication as well. And you're somebody that's not shy from communicating with people, because you like to have a giggle, you like to have a laugh, and you've got some really exciting projects which I can't reveal just yet, but I look forward to talking about them at a later date. Now, one thing that you are very, very, you're very staunch about is making sure that we're engaging more women in the charitable sector.
Yeah. Can I tell you something? Because I'm coming from the German side, and their charity is really something what is really invisible. You don't see it. Okay. So Britain has always this craft to create and to have the passion for the charities, and believe me, it bows me so low. I work with a couple of wonderful women, so strong. They are so all involved in the social media and in the social work, and they are mothers. They are mothers, and they add to this. They have 2 or 3 jobs, and they go for charity. And how they can do this, and they will all help the children, and it's such a glow and grow. And I'm so impressed by them, and I'm really, really. It's striking. It's striking to see, my God, they make it happen. And it's all about passion. It's all about to trust these kind of, a lot of them, they're working also for children or handicapped children, and they give them the pride and everything. So it's communicated together. And for example, now, sorry to get the attention, but for example, in Germany, if you're a mother and working, we have a name. And it's called Rave Mothers. So we still, it's not open at all. So here you have the chance to have a work and to have children. But in my case, it is nearly impossible. And speaking as an artist, there are no artist who working like me international who has children. So it's such a backlash of identity. And this is why I always concentrate in women, because I have to face a lot of these kind of stigmas.
Wow, goodness me, that was quite eye-opening for me, because I feel as a mother myself, I'm a professional working mother, I'm an artist, I'm a creative.
You can't do this.
And I've got, my, I just do it all, and it's normal, and I'm around.
No, it's not normal at all.
Oh, wow. Goodness. No, it's... Bilal, you're listening into this.
Sorry, yes, Bilal, we need you in this world, we need you.
It's good.
Go.
Okay, Bilal, coming back to what I was wanting to say is, you're quite... very vocal about encouraging women to kind of come forward and be charitable leaders and kind of be leading the team projects. And Maria was somebody that you kind of introduced me to, and you were really, really happy about her interview and how she projected herself. Is that something that's quite a priority for you right now?
I think it should be. It's not that it's a priority for me. I just feel it's really important that we have these mothers, sisters, wives who are extremely talented, and I just feel that sometimes they feel they need to do all the work in the background, which is what they do, and then you have the lovely men who kind of present it all and think, oh wow, look at this, how great this is. And it happens, like I said, with my experience, a lot of the time it's the sisters in the background doing all the graft, laying all the foundations. And then it's the guys who kind of take over and steal the show. So I just feel there's lots going on, and me and my wife have this discussion all the time. And there's a lot more talented women in this town, Luton, who can do so much more. And like I said, it doesn't have to be, major dinners where you're spending thousands of pounds, and you don't have to give thousands of pounds. Your time is so much more valuable, and if you can use your time efficiently and productively, there's so much that can be done, and it's proven. I mean, there's loads of great projects where people have invested their time, and we've seen the outcome.
Now, how can people get in contact with you, Bilal? Because Charity Week is something that you founded. You've gone on to raise over £3.5 million, mashallah, in the work that you're doing with a wonderful team that are made up of women as well. Yes. So how can people get in contact with you?
Get in touch with you at the show, and then I can, you've got my details, and I'm happy.
I like how he throws that at me, making me do all the work.
It's easier, because if I give you my details over the phone, over the phone, I'll probably get inundated. So if you could contact the show, and then just
Inshallah
refer anyone to me. So look, with Charity Week, the reason why it started and the reason why it has, mashallah, been so successful is because it was purely volunteer-led, and it still is volunteer-led. We have over 120 volunteers who manage the project in the UK alone. We have a German team, we have an Australia team, we have an America team, we have a team in Canada, a team in South Africa, a team in Qatar. And these are purely volunteers who give their time to deliver such an amazing project. It's student-led, it's for students. We have about 80 odd ISOCs across the UK who get involved in Charity Week. So it's a fantastic initiative, and like I said, the core team are mostly females. So yeah.
Wow, a real celebration there of women really making their mark in the charity sector, and inspiring other women too to kind of take that lead.
Indeed.
Now, on today's show, Bilal, we're also talking, we're running Inspire FM's Good Character Week, and we're talking about manners and phone etiquette. Are you one of those parents that's quite strict when it comes to managing the time, your output on the use of phone when it comes to children and on the table at dinner time?
Having phones on the table at dinner time, it's a no-go. It does not happen. Sometimes we do. As a family, when we're eating, we might be watching something on the telly. It's normally during tea time or snack time, but or breakfast actually on the weekend. But during lunch and dinner, it's just completely a no-go.
Wow.
There's no iPads, no telephones, no telly. Last night, in fact, was a good example where we were as a family gathering, and it was just banned. The kids were eating, and I think a couple of them took out phones, but it was like, nope, they go away. You lot talk with each other. And I think these kind of practices start off at home, and we really need to encourage. I'm fortunate. Myself and my wife are both quite outdoorsy, so whenever we want to sort of, the kids get a bit bored on the weekend, it's not always about grabbing the iPad or iPhone or the telly. We've recently started, me and my eldest Hashim, who posted a picture up on Facebook. We get on our bikes and start riding. We have horses just up Bradgers Hill, which we go and feed sometimes. So that's what I'd encourage. I know it's cold, wrap up warm, just go for a 20-minute walk, and it's fine. But that's what I'd encourage, to get out and just be a bit more active rather than making... it's an easy option, and I understand why a lot of parents do it. Grab the iPad, grab the iPhone. It's easy, gets them out of the way. Mummy can go off in the kitchen and, prepare dinner for tonight. And Daddy...
What about Daddy preparing dinner in the kitchen?
Yeah, well, that as well. Yep, absolutely. I can give you if anybody wants to, get in touch. I got a great nihari recipe if anybody wants it.
Can I interrupt? Because I think also our generation, if I'm speaking as a parent, we are the one who are depending on the phones. My kids, for example, they are not doing any selfies or not Facebook. The mother is all the time on. So there is. I think there's also a new sensibility, and I think we have to grab ourselves on the shoulders.
Yes.
And it's not the kids who are all the time on the phone. Who who's on the phone? Who has the phone now? So it's I think it has to raise awareness of each generation, and also the grannies.
Yeah, and the grannies. I love the grannies.
Yes.
Grannies on WhatsApp.
WhatsApp.
Grannies. Can you relate to that, Bilal? Can you relate to what Katrine has just said about we need to take responsibility?
I'm a bad offender. I'm always on the phone because I'm
we are busy.
Yeah, absolutely. But is it an excuse? Is it an excuse that we're busy? Because I'm always on the phone, WhatsApp and telephone calls, and I have 2 phones. So my phones are like, during the week, Monday to Friday, they are going off
push
all the time. So I've had to learn, and I have had to learn, to, especially around the kids, at home, on the weekend, shut off, like at least put them down for a certain period of time. This, over the Christmas break, it was the first time in 12 years of business, for the whole week, I didn't open my work phone. It was completely left to one side, and I didn't open my laptop once.
This is a real holiday, isn't it? This is holiday. For me, sorry to be once without internet connection, this is holiday, nothing else.
Yeah, and we didn't go anywhere. We didn't go anywhere abroad or anything like that. We just stayed locally, done a few sort of out day trips, out. But it was the first time that I did not, and it was such a relief because, nobody died. The world didn't end. The world, everything carried on. Production was fine, and, everything was fine. And it's just, we as parents need to learn as well.
How did it make you feel, Bilal, though? You as a person, as Bilal, did it kind of help calm you in any way? Did you feel a bit more relaxed?
Absolutely. It helped me connect with my kids a bit more, spend some quality time with the wife. She probably got sick of it, to be honest, by the end of the week. But but it was, and that's what my point. The point I'm making is that as parents, we also need to understand that a lot of it is our fault. Okay. We have to
set that example.
Absolutely lead by example, and it's not. The reason why the phones and the iPads are in front of the kids is because we put them there at some point. Yeah, so it's us as parents understanding that we need to wean them off. We need to control the amount we're on Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, and all the other social media activities that we get involved in. WhatsApp is also a killer. Mute your groups. You have some groups that are really active. Yeah. Mute them. Just put them on mute, and when you feel like looking at them, then you're in control. Just little things which I've learned to do, and I'm not the best parent on the planet, and I'm really bad on the phone because I'm on it a lot. But it's a process I'm learning through.
And we can all learn from this. I think today's conversation is really interesting because I always get a female perspective on this, but it's great to have a father sharing their viewpoint on how to kind of manage social etiquette with social media, and especially with young children, because you've got 2 adorable boys, mashallah, who are kind of just under the age of 10, so it's kind of really having to lead by example with them. But I love the fact that they were out in public, and kids that had the phone were told to put it away and converse. The art of conversation is really being lost. Khadija, you're 18 years old. You're the baby in this space right now, listening to the conversation that we're having. I mean, does it seem quite archaic or alien to you? I mean, like mobile phones, like you must have been born with holding one in your hand because you're that generation. But our generation, we had none of it.
At home we have some rules.
Okay.
When we are eating or having lunch, we're not allowed to use our phone. Wow. It's really strict.
Good.
Even like sometimes my mom, she's like, put your phone away, we're gonna watch a movie together, have some pajama party together. You just put your phone away and you can't. So we have some rules, and sometimes we do some activity together, but like at home we're a little bit addicted to technology. I'm not gonna lie, my mom, she's always busy. She was a businesswoman before, so she was using a lot of her phone, so sometimes it's difficult for her to put her phone away. But she try because we push her to try to put her phone away. As well with me and my brother and sister, she's very strict. She always telling us, if you want to sit with me, have conversation, we all put our phone away. So yeah,
and that's really good grounding. Now, Khadija, Bilal was talking about the fact that there were lots of sisters, women, Muslim women in the community, kind of like, you know, really motivating the charitable work.
Yeah.
You're new to Luton.
Yeah.
You know, how does this make you sound about the way women are in Luton and the way they're working in the charitable sector here?
Beautiful, amazing. I'm just so happy to hear that we have a lot of Muslim women who contribute to charity. They're gonna put a little bit of feminine touch, you know, to charity. It's really, really, really amazing. So I'm really happy to hear that a lot of women contribute to charity. So yeah,
And
if
would
I
you-
have a chance, I will try, definitely.
Inshallah. So, you know,
Inshallah.
maybe you need to connect with Bilal on that. Maybe Maria as well, because Maria was astounding when she spoke to us. I mean, the reason why she joined the show was because we were talking about domestic violence.
Yeah.
And it was, the week was about basically raising awareness of gender-based violence, and the work that Bilal is involved with Islamic Relief and various other charitable projects is the fact that getting this conversation in the mosque to actually encourage sermons, the khutbah, the prayer, after the prayer that the imam to say that, you know, there's no place for domestic violence in Islam.
Yeah.
And this was Maria was on the show to kind of share this information. Now, how has it been? Was this conversation in the mosque? Did it happen, Bilal?
Yeah, so we've got khutbahs planned. So the
Okay.
idea was, there have been conversations with a number of mosques. The thing is, nowadays, the mosques are a lot more organised, so they have khutbahs and stuff planned for months in advance. So we, I don't know when the first one is actually, but we do have them coming up, and there will be at least 3 local mosques.
Fantastic.
Before April, inshallah. So, which is good.
Brilliant.
So, you know, the mosques have been willing to listen, which is great, and they've, you know, they've engaged, and they're willing to, you know, talk about it on Friday Jummah, which is great. So
That's awesome. So your work doesn't just look about, isn't about raising funds, but it's also social action as well, which is really, really important to make a difference in our communities. Bilal, I know you're at work and you've given me your time this morning.
I'm sorry about the background noise. I'm really apologies.
Yeah, they're a little bit loud. You need to get them toned down a little bit. Not worry. No worries whatsoever. It's an absolute pleasure having you join us this morning, and inshallah we'll be catching up with some more great projects that you're involved with. I'm really, really excited to find out a little bit more about that very, very shortly. So have a wonderful day, Bilal.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care. Assalamu alaikum. Now, that was Bilal Hussein, who is a local businessman and entrepreneur who's very passionate about not just raising money for charity. 3.5 million was the amount that they were able to raise with founding Charity Week, which is a national project across the country. But is also about making sure that, you know, we're kind of working on the ground and creating social change, positive social change across our communities. On the show, folks, still joined by the wonderful Katrina and the awesome Khadija. It is 11:24, Monday, 21st of January, and you're listening to the Urban Kube. The show will be repeated 8 p.m. this evening. You can catch us on Facebook, iTunes, and Spotify. Podbean too. There's no way you can't hear anything that's been said. The conversation is still continuing after the break, where I'm joined by these remarkable women, and I'm going to be joined by another delightful young lady by the name of Saara Aniqah Malik. Now, she's a writer and director of a new play, her debut play called SALAAM, which is premiering at Vault, and it's exploring Islamophobia and the experience of being a Muslim in modern London. Plus, I'm going to be talking about social media and the impact it's having on our confidence and mental health. And it's just amazing that we have Khadija and Catrine in the studio to talk to me a little bit more about that. So, yeah, are we up for more conversations, ladies, after the break? Yay!
Thank you.
So we'll be doing that. And I'd love you guys to get in contact with us. Tell me where you're listening in from on 07779 481 822. I'll be catching up with all the Facebook comments straight after the break, and we'll be also talking about other quirky, creative stuff too. So join me straight after this. Assalamu alaikum.
Do you find raising a child in today's society challenging? Inspire FM's new parenting show will be dealing with today's challenges in raising children, ranging from building sentiments through to building leaders of tomorrow. Every Tuesday with Brother Ali at 7 p.m. only on Inspire FM. From nourishing to nurturing. The Parenting Show, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. only on Inspire FM.
such a creative vibe on the Urban Kube with Sister Shemiza.
Hello and assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to you. 11:30 is the time, Monday 21st of January, and you're listening to Shemiza taking you all the way up to 12 o'clock on the final half an hour of the Urban Kube show, brought to you on Inspire FM. Now, I'm not alone in the studio. I'm still joined by the very, very awesome, sparkly, happy, lovely, I haven't got enough words to describe them. They've really made my morning this morning. It's Catrine and it's Khadija, still in the studio, people. And good morning and assalamu alaikum to you ladies. Thank you for staying with me. I mean, I was only going to have you for an hour, but you've decided to stay. I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased. How have you found the experience of the radio station so far?
Amazing.
It's
the only word, amazing.
Yes, it made it makes everything. The Monday has a new setting, has a new statement. Yeah.
Wow. And Khadija, you said something really quite intriguing, which really kind of resonated with me. The fact that you said that in France there are no Muslim radio presenters. If they are, then they don't say they're Muslim.
No, like for example, I've never listened to any Muslim radio, but I don't think we have it that much. Or maybe we have some local radios, but like national one, we don't have it. Even if you have like some Muslim presenter, you're gonna know by their name that they are Muslim, but not because they're telling you that they are Muslim. So we have some really famous people that they are Muslim, but most likely they are famous because of Muslim community, right, not because of non-Muslim community.
So community radio is a wonderful vehicle then, would you agree, for say the Muslim community, to make them aware of great projects that are very inclusive. And this project that we're talking about with wonderful Catrina is the one at the Storefront Gallery, which is celebrating contemporary women in Britain, in the heart of Luton. And it's a real celebration of dual identity of women from all over Luton, not necessarily Muslim, everybody and anybody who wants to showcase.
And also, this is also important because you told me, I'm not sure because I'm shy. Yes, we are all shy. And please, I love that don't feel, you don't have to be proud or no, it's the other way. If you're never allowed to be, or if you're afraid to be photographed, please come to me. And whatever I do, it stays in between us. So I will never get any image out before having not the acceptance. Right. So this is very important. So please.
It's a communication that is going to be directly with the person, whoever's sitting with the photograph. You are going to
and then
get
it's
their
in between
confirmation.
Us. Yes, and they can be delayed or not. So I feel, so this is, it's not that you are shoot and then a portrait. No. It's the other way around.
Wonderful. This project is part of Luton culture. As you can change, I think that's, if I've said that correctly, and it's also in collaboration with the Storefront and
Departure Lounge.
And the whole purpose of this is a real celebration of the beauty and remarkable women across Luton town. Now, it's an open call, guys, so 1 to 6 o'clock every day of the week. You can actually make your way to the Storefront to actually participate.
And also just have a look inside. Have a look inside. So it doesn't have, if you want to be photographed, it's fine. If you're not,
Wow.
Just feel curious and inspired.
Yes, I like that word. Curious and be inspired. Yeah. That's really, really important to kind of, just see what it's all about. And it's also an opportunity for you to get to see the gallery as well, because that will be a space that's going to be actively used for lots and lots of exhibitions and art galleries in the future as well. Now, on today's show, we're also talking about manners and how we kind of need to adapt to maybe better, more etiquette, more social media etiquette maybe. As a photographer, Catrina, you're a filmmaker, very well-known photographer of German French heritage. How do you feel when people, as a photographer and the way people use mobile phones to take films and photographs, do you think it takes it away from classic traditional photographers? Or professionally trained photographers?
Totally. You have, in our phones, we catch how many memories and everything. It's not that you feel it, you don't trust your memories anymore, you trust your mobile phone. So immediately when you go, for example, through an exhibition or something, you just take the phone up and here you are. So this is like the status quo, you are there. So I think we will lose a lot, and give time to breathe, and just also trust your memories and trust what you have. And we don't have to communicate all the time through our world, because I have a lot of friends who are, as an artist, you have to be visible. So you have to push it forward and go on and Instagram. And what does it mean, to catch a like? This is a little bit childish, if we are depending on this thumbs up or not. So and in between, if we're just concentrating on this powership then we lose, I think, the best quality is the real conversation. And this is what I try to do. So,
and capturing those moments and capturing thoughts and ideas is somebody that is very well at doing so. Is my next guest. It's no other than writer and director Saara Aniqah Malik. Now, Saara is joining me, I think, all the way from London this morning, and she's going to be talking to us about her new debut play, SALAAM, which is premiering at Vault 2019, and explores Islamophobia and the experience of being a Muslim in modern London. Assalamu alaikum, Saara.
Assalamualaikum, Shemiza. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm super delighted to have you this morning. I love the fact that you're so quirky and so bubbly. So this is going to be a great interview. Now, Saara, thank you so very much. You are live on Inspire FM, the Urban Kube show this morning. You're in the company of the very, very awesome Khadija, who's an art and design student, who's featured in a wonderful exhibition celebrating dual identity and contemporary women in Britain, which has been photographed by artist filmmaker Catrine Val, who's also in the studio as well.
Good morning.
Wow, hello to you both.
And you're definitely somebody who I think could comfortably feature in this exhibition, because it's kind of about sharing a new narrative, sharing a different perspective on the way we perceive women. And it's not necessarily about Muslim women, but it's all about all women. But your play, my darling, the play SALAAM is a play that looks at the relationship between women, between a mother and daughter facing Islamophobia, but it's got a little bit of comedy thrown in there. Tell us more.
Yeah, so the play is set during Ramadan 2017, and Ramadan is a really important time for Muslims. It's the 9th month of the Muslim calendar, and it's when Muslims come together, create a really strong sense of community, and fast and pray and really connect to their religion. Ramadan 2017 was a really interesting time for me personally, because it was a great time in terms of my spiritual journey, but also, unfortunately, there was a lot of Islamist terrorism happening in London specifically, which then fed into a lot of street-level Islamophobia. So I found that cycle of Islamist terrorism feeding into and fueling Islamophobia really interesting, set against the backdrop of a very spiritually enriching time, and a time when a lot of Muslims were strengthening their relationship with God, with the relationship with each other, and families coming together. So that's kind of the main conflict that the play explores.
And it's interesting that it's between the relationship between a mother and daughter, because I've just had this conversation with Khadija, and Khadija has come from France and is studying in England. She's 18 years of age, and she just talked about how she was so much more freer to express who she is as a hijab-wearing Muslim woman. But this play, does it kind of explore that identity of Muslim women in this piece too?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Khadija, your work sounds amazing. I'd need to kind of learn more about it.
Thank you. She is.
Yeah, in terms of my play, I think some of the really important things that it talks about are the different types of racism that Muslim women experience. So the mother character wears a scarf, and so there's a lot of conversation about what it means for her to experience Islamophobia in a different way as a visible Muslim woman, and the very specific gendered and physical abuse she gets as a visible Muslim woman, whereas the daughter character doesn't wear a scarf and is, first of all, lighter skinned, and so the racism she experiences is very, very different. And there's a lot going on there. I think it is really interesting as well to have a mother-daughter relationship like that when they are experiencing different things and seeing the two different heads of Islamophobia in that sense, and how they come together, and also the fact that they want to bridge the gap between their experiences, but also you're never going to quite understand the other person's experience of racism. And that's interesting to consider within a community which a lot of people brush with the same brushstroke and say that we all think the same thing and we all experience the same thing. And in reality, there's a lot of nuances there, and also I'm really aware that I'm writing this play, and there's not a lot of Muslim female playwrights and directors out there, and a lot of people will come and think that what I have to say and what this play has to say speaks for all of us, but also it doesn't, because I'm writing from my point of view.
Right.
And also I interviewed a lot of British Muslim women in order to get a wider perspective, but yeah, I mean, the point is that we're trying to explore the different kinds of racism that women experience, but it's still so narrow because it's such a wide spectrum.
And I'm learning about that a lot more today, because I think what you've just basically reflected is exactly the conversation that I was having with Khadija, the fact that what the mother and her mother and herself as her mother's daughter and the experiences are very, very different. And this play is being showcased at the Vault, so congratulations on that. It's been premiered there. Tell us how people can kind of get in touch if they want to go and watch this play.
Yeah, so if you can go to the Vault website, which is www.vaultfestival.com. You can go on our Twitter page, which is @SALAAM Play, and there's our trailer there is on YouTube as well, just a SALAAM trailer. So those are the main ways that you can find out about us. We're running next Wednesday, so that's 30th of January, for a week, and it's on 6 p.m. every night.
Wow, exciting stuff. Now, coming back to you, Saara, you're actually currently training as a director at the Bristol Old Vic Theatre School. You previously studied at King's College London, and was it theatre, performing arts that you studied at King's College?
No, so I grew up in a really academic environment, and the plan was to do an English degree, which is what I always wanted, and then go into academia in some sense, as I think a lot of Asian parents would really support, and they were very happy with the plan. And then I fell into theatre about halfway through my degree then. And it really came from nowhere. I think it came from a combination of having a lot of free time at university doing an English degree, and also having a lot of passion and not really knowing where to put it. So I kind of fell into theatre, directed and wrote my first play, and then once I did that, I just fell in love with the process, and then just didn't want to stop, and so continued. And then I got to the end of my degree, and then I thought, I can't bear the thought of not doing this any longer. So then I applied to drama school, and that's where I am now. So I'm actually missing a whole month of term just to work on this play and put it on. So
hopefully
you don't miss it.
Yeah,
you just can grow.
Yeah.
No.
I love what you've just said there, Catrina. She can just grow in that process. And life, university isn't just about the classroom. It's about life and experience.
Yes, and it's now.
Definitely. And what's really interested me about is that your passion for political activism, and that you see theatre as a vehicle for social change. So is this where your writing is kind of heading? Is this the genre?
Yeah, so I think I completely agree with what you're saying about university is not about the classroom, it's about the person that you become and the people that you meet. And one of the things that I think changed with me for the better was that I became a lot more politically aware once I went to university, because I started meeting a wider group of people who had very different experiences to me. And I became really aware of the different kinds of racism that were happening in front of me that I never knew were happening before.
Wow.
So that is something that I educated myself a lot about when I was at university. And then so when I started becoming interested in the arts and theatre and picked up writing again, for me, I thought I can't really justify spending a lot of time rehearsing for plays when I know there's so much going on in the real world outside of the rehearsal room. So for me, the only way I can really justify it for myself in my life is to put these two things together and say, I'm really passionate about this creative thing, but I also really want to make a stand against the things I believe are wrong in this world.
Wow.
And hopefully this is the first project I can do that with, and I'm going to continue to do that, inshallah, with the rest of my projects.
How easy has it been, though, to make it happen? Because you make it sound like plain sailing, that it's all landed on your lap. And, but we know as artists and creatives in the theatre world that these things don't happen that swiftly. There is, it is very unequal, and platforms are not readily available for BAME artisans.
It's been really tough, to be honest. I think the first thing I would bring up is the fact that I'm one of the only people of colour in the drama school.
Is that for real?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I'm one of maybe 10 people in the whole school who's a person of colour. I'm the only Muslim person in the school, I believe. I haven't spoken to anyone else who identifies as Muslim. So that was possibly the biggest challenge when I first went there, is also growing up in London. I was just having a conversation with my cast this morning about what it feels like to grow up in London, and I feel like the London identity is a very strong one, and I never felt the need to think about the fact that I was brown and the fact that I was a woman, because there were so many different people. And then I moved to Bristol, and I'm in a very kind of
now you stand out
area of Bristol. I would, for the first time in my life, I walked into cafes and people turned around to look at me because I wasn't white. That was a really hard thing to adjust to, and also wondering why I was there, and if I was there because they needed a certain quota of people of colour. It's not been easy at all, and I say that I applied to the Vault Festival and I got it, but also that's erasing the fact that I spent a year applying to direct other plays, applying to assistant direct other plays, submitting plays I had written, and getting rejected from all of those. But the thing I would highlight about the Vault Festival is that I was really nervous about being tokenised, and I was worried that we were going to be the only Muslim play or the only play led by a group of women of colour. But we're not. There are about 3 or 4 other plays that are all about South Asian or East Asian Muslim women, and that's an amazing thing, and I would really applaud that festival because I've never seen that before.
Fantastic.
So I feel like they really are nurturing us.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
And it's the Vault Festival. And do you know what? I think this makes your work even more authentic, knowing that you have had that struggle. You know the reality, and you've not stepped back, but you're actually slaying in your lane, darling. You're slaying it. Coming back to that very remarkable play that has been debuted called SALAAM, it's actually it's a funny play. So you're using comedy to kind of raise awareness of Islamophobia and the relationship between mother and daughter, which also explores mental health and the notion of gendered racial abuse. So how are you able to do that? Have you been able to kind of make it a little bit sort of, light-hearted and funny?
Yeah, it's a lot of very serious topics we're packing into our show. At the end of the day, I think mother-daughter relationships are very, very funny. A lot of them are. The one I have is very funny. The one I see in my day-to-day life very funny, because they're very emotionally charged. I've seen most of the time. There's a lot. You can get very, very close to your mother, but there can also be a lot of emotional ups and downs with them as well. And I think that going back and forth between being very close and fighting immediately is very funny. And there's a lot of emotional dependence you have on each other. And the mother-daughter relationship we have in our play is just them two in their household. So they are each other's worlds. And therefore there's a lot of emotional dependence, but there's also friendship there as well. There's a sense of we go through a lot together. And in order to deal with the hard things, we joke about it and we laugh about it.
Wow.
And I think that comedy is one of the biggest remedies in life.
Yes, she creates you, and I think you cannot. A mother and daughter relationship is the closest as you can get. It starts like this.
And Khadija, did you want to say something? Because I know that you have an amazing bond with your mother. She's your inspiration and the woman that motivated you to be part of this exhibition.
Yeah, I was always like, one day I came home and I was telling her I'm gonna wear my scarf forever, and the next day I was like, I want to take it off, because the society, when people judge you, it's really difficult for a teenager girl. I was just I was really young, I didn't understand why people were staring at me and what they telling me 50 your face, 50 your hair, for a girl who was just 12, 13, 14 years old. Even in Morocco, I was 14 years old when I went back to Morocco because of my mom and dad business. So we went back to Morocco, and I was in a Muslim country but in a French school. and people was staring at me more than in France. You know, they was like, you know, you're French. You don't need to wear a scarf. You know. And I was like, no, I'm Muslim first, you know. I was born Muslim before being a French or even Moroccan girl, you know. And it was really difficult because people was always looking at me in different ways.
But
I was not able to express myself.
But your mother kind of
She was
helped you.
always here. She was like, express yourself. And since I'm 16, 17 years old, I started being more confident, you know, when I came to UK, because I saw like we have our place. Muslim girl have a place here in the society. They have a chance to be what they want to be, not just a Muslim girl who wears scarves. So yeah.
Wow. And Saara, she's only 18.
Yes.
Oh my God, you're amazing.
She's absolutely remarkable. She's got a very strong head on her shoulders, and a massive big credit to her mum. Your mum's called?
Lamia.
Lamia. We need to give a shout out to her. Now, you're also combining live music with the lyrical language of this play, which is very intriguing. So how does the music fit in?
Yeah, so the script itself is written in verse, so it's basically a long-form poem. So the language itself is very symbolic and rich. And so I thought what would really complement that would be to have live musicians. So we have 2 female musicians who are on stage the whole time, 1 singer and 1 violinist, who are going to be conducted by our brilliant composer, who are all women, which is something I really, really wanted.
Fangirling.
Yeah. So I've been having a lot of conversations with the composer in the creation of the script itself, and we've come up with kind of 4 different soundtracks, which are basically motifs which relate to the 4 main themes of the play that the play revisits every time. And so the vocalists are basically going to be kind of like the inside voice of the emotions which the characters can't express at the time. It's kind of similar to how musicals work, where when words fail you, you go into song. But with our show, you know, it's so word heavy, but there are still things you can never fully express. And therefore, we give up on words and we go to music. And the singers never actually sing specific words. They're just singing sounds and trying to elicit the same emotions that we could create with if we were able to express ourselves. So it's been a really interesting process working with the actors separately and then bringing the musicians in a couple of days. We haven't actually done it yet, but they're coming in a couple of days and trying to marry both of them together.
Wow.
Will be really interesting, but I've done it with all my previous productions before, so it's something that I think really elevates plays to another level, because music will always tap into something that words and acting and reading can never do.
You sound like a woman with many talents. I mean, this looks like a real journey of expression to kind of touching all the senses when you're going to go and watch this performance. I want to ask you, because it is about mother and daughter relationship, has your mum been to any of the rehearsals, and what does she think?
My mother is my biggest idol. I think she's the most amazing woman in my life, which is why I'm terrified for her to come to rehearsal. And she was really, really keen to read the script. I basically shut myself in my room for about 2-3 weeks over Christmas finishing the script, and she was very scared to knock on my door, because every time she came in I was like, no, you can't see the script, because I was so nervous about her seeing it. So I really want her to come to the show. She's going to come to a few, I think. I really want her to come and experience it as a show, rather than see it as a script or see it being worked on in rehearsals. But she is coming to meet with the actor who plays the mother character in the play, in order to talk about the intricacies of the language, because the mother speaks in Urdu a lot, which is my mum's second language. But my mum will always be my biggest inspiration. She's made me the person who I am. She's made me ambitious. So in everything that I do, she will be there. She may not be on stage as she wants to be, but she will be there somehow.
Oh, so beautiful. What a massive big compliment to her and to you coming together and celebrating this beautiful play. So one more time, Saara, please tell us, when is this play going to be premiered, and how can people get in touch, because we're heading off to the break?
Thank you so much. So our play is called SALAAM. It's on at the Vault Festival, which is in Waterloo. We're running from 30th of January to 3rd of February, every night from 6 p.m. onwards. You can get tickets on the Vault website, vaultfestival.com.
Wonderful. And I just want to say thank you so very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Massive big good luck with the
I
premiere
will try
of the...
to watch it.
Yes, Katrina, please do go down.
Yes.
Yeah, so you've got two people.
I'm so curious to meet you once with your beautiful voice and your passion. Let's make plans.
Yes, please. I would love to have a conversation in person.
Definitely.
you.
Oh, do you have any? Are you quite open about giving out your Twitter handle to anybody, or is that something that?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my Twitter handle is Saara Malik. My name S3 A's SAARA Malik on Twitter. So yeah, please do message me, get in touch with me. I'd love to speak to all of you. Thank you so much for having me.
You've been an absolute treat. Thank you so very much, Saara, this morning. And good luck with the premiere.
Thank you so much.
Very, very welcome. That was the very awesome Saara Aniqah Malik, who is the writer-director of a new debut play, SALAAM, being showcased at the Vault Festival. We are now to the end of the show, so I just want to say thank you very much, Khadija and Katrina, for joining me.
Thank you for receiving us.
Oh,
Yes,
no.
taking this time.
Very, very much so. It's been an absolute treat, folks. So, guys, one more time, 1 to 6 o'clock every evening at the storefront, Butte Street. If you want to kind of get involved with this really awesome project, then you know where to go and how to get involved. Inshallah, it's an open call for folks to come and observe or to participate in this exhibition celebrating women in Luton. Now, I'm heading off to the end of the show, so it's a massive big salams from me, and hopefully catch a repeat at 8 p.m. and join me next week, 10 till 12 on Monday. Assalamu alaikum.